going to invite one by one to give like a 7-minute spiel so that we have a few minutes at the end to take questions. So the panel is Bluewater Baltimore. You guys have all heard of it, I'm guessing, right, in this room? I thought they're like, I don't know, they've been around for years, and I realized they're so young. So Bluewater Baltimore actually was set up in 2010, and they have been building partnerships. It's like, planting trees and replacing gray with green. It's fantastic work. Carl Simon, the executive director, interim executive director of Bluewater Baltimore, and Elizabeth Fodson, community forestry manager. Thank you for coming.
The environmental movement of Baltimore, we are about actions. We must be about results. Tonight's symposium is about creating and sustaining movements. And within the word movement, of course, it is an inclusive of action and results. Because without actions, movements stand still. Bluewater Baltimore, we are the watershed nonprofit of Baltimore. And we are a citizens-based group. We are one of the largest nonprofits in the environmental field in the state of Maryland. We have over 30 full-time staff and a budget of about $5 million. Our programming spans from water quality monitoring to advocacy and policy work. We are a watchdog group. We also have a significant on-the-ground restoration component with forestry, urban forestry, and stormwater management. Throughout all of our programs, we emphasize, first and foremost, community outreach and environmental education. These aspects span all of our programs and are critical. In our movement in Baltimore, our field of the environment needs to do better. We need to broaden our base of support and reach more people. The reality is we have policymakers who don't accept the basic scientific underpinnings of our work. And we have to do better. The days of our field being defined by endless meetings and empty promises to communities, these days are over. We must take action. We must improve the environmental health of Baltimore and make tangible results in people's lives. And the following is based on a true story of Bluewater Baltimore's movement, where we have been and where we are going. About 10 years ago, 4 people started our movement. Neighbors talking about clean water and strong communities. That is our mission. We increased a tenfold, 40 people, just in a few years. Neighbors getting involved, people picking up trash, planting trees for the first time. Another tenfold increase. We are 400 people strong, 400 volunteers strong, just 5 years ago. And now we're starting to make tangible results with trees planted by the nonprofit sector of Baltimore and bags of trash being picked up as well. Today, 2017, what does our movement look like? We are 4,000 people strong. That is Bluewater Baltimore's volunteer base. And we are making tangible results in our neighborhoods, in our watersheds. The results are this. We plant over 2,000 trees a year, 20 acres of new tree canopy. We pick up over 100,000 pounds of trash a year. And our stormwater projects treat over 4 million gallons of stormwater. These are some significant results, but we are not done yet. We have ways to go as we broaden our base of support. Let's imagine our city's future as we grow. The title of tonight's symposium. We know we can have another tenfold increase of our supporters, of our networks, of our volunteers. What will it look like when we are 40,000 people strong? That will look like a city within a city, an army of eco-warriors who are making real results in Baltimore's communities. We will not be stoppable. And we know we can do it because we've done it before. When we reach 400,000 people strong in Baltimore, we will represent most of the city. Let's imagine what that looks like. We will have health outcomes improve. Based on the research, we will see rates of asthma, anxiety, obesity decline. Most importantly, for the city of Baltimore, a city of neighborhoods, we will see social ties and community fabrics strengthened. Because, simply put, people will spend more time outside. And this is the future that we are headed. This is our vision. Why not 4 million people strong? Most of the state of Maryland. We know we can do it because we've had significant increases in our volunteer base of support in our history. And this is where we are headed. When most of the people in the state of Maryland and most of the people in the city of Baltimore are getting their hands dirty and making the results they want to see in their neighborhoods, with our support, the political structures will change. All of our values will be integrated into all things being considered by policymakers at the city, state, and federal level. And this is where we are headed, and we understand as the environmental nonprofit, it will take a broad neighborhood-first approach that includes everybody at the neighborhood level. The parachute in, parachute out model has not worked for us, and now we must seek to listen first, understand the needs of the communities that we serve before taking action. And next is Elizabeth Fortson on staff with Bluewater Baltimore to discuss with actual examples how our movement works and why it's important to her.
Greetings, everybody. I'm here to talk about oppression in the environmental movement, and I know you're all like, what did she just say? Sorry, one second, I'm gonna pull up my notes. First, I'll introduce myself. I'm Elizabeth. I'm not originally from Baltimore. I'm a transplant from New Hampshire, the live free or die state. I was very lucky to receive a job at Bluewater Baltimore right after graduating with a degree in sustainability. To be honest, after spending 4 years studying climate change, I was scared, impassioned, and almost desperate to start making a tangible impact in the world. Like many other passionate environmentalists, I was convinced that putting trees anywhere is better than putting trees nowhere. So this also happened immediately after the 2015 protests. The protests were an extremely profound moment for our city, and after that happened, I found myself saying, how can I use my skills to heal the environment and the city? Now, fast forward to my second planting season as the community forestry manager. We're in a neighborhood park in the Gwynns Falls. There's an old tree planting there. And I noticed from satellite images that 20 trees out of the original 250 had died. So I went ahead and scheduled a tree planting event there. We had to plant a certain number of trees, and I figured it was a safe bet. I made a set of assumptions. The first assumption was that the neighborhood had consented to the original planting. The second assumption was that they had been informed to expect replacement plantings. Informed by whom? There were 1,000 reasons for me not to find out. And third, I was also operating under that deeply held assumption that the benefits of planting the trees would outweigh the consequences of planting them without consent. So we went And the flyers have my phone number on it for people to call with concerns and comments. I was surprised. I received several calls, a lot more than I was expecting, and people were concerned. They didn't really want the trees. But at that point, it was too late, I felt, and so I made the decision not to postpone or to cancel the event. Now, the volunteer event was worse than I could have ever imagined. People came out of their homes, and volunteers noticed. We got very bad reviews on that event. Emotions were high, voices were raised, and now trees are amazing. They have the potential to improve our environment, our health, our mental health, and our communities. But trees aren't good if they cause you stress. And trees aren't good for you if they're put in there without your consent. So when I realized what I had done, that's the moral of this story. As we, the dreamers and the doers of Baltimore, imagine possible city futures, we have to remember that we always have a choice about how we do things. It was my choice to have that event. And it was my choice to not do my due diligence. So as we go forward, we have to always do our due diligence. Bluewater Baltimore has undergone dramatic changes in the past couple of years, and all levels of leadership are now operating on a neighborhoods first approach. So within that framework, community forestry has come up with a new set of rules for the new tree planting movement. The first rule is, do not plant trees without consent. The second rule is, abide by democracy, consent, and the community engagement. The most important part of this story is not why they didn't want trees. In the end, it turned out to be a variety of things that would have been solved by conversations. So, the moral of this story is that it's not radical to say that it is as important to engage communities as it is to achieve clean water, because we can't achieve clean water and we cannot lift up all of Baltimore without engaging communities.
I felt as director of Bluewater Baltimore it was important to be here today to reach people that really care about transforming Baltimore. And the title of tonight captured me with the word movement, because the environmental movement is what it's all about. That's what Bluewater Baltimore is. We are an environmental movement. To come here to Morgan to engage with the faculty, staff, and students to build that movement is a tremendous opportunity. I'm honored to be here and to participate. With Bluewater Baltimore, you can get involved with one of our many volunteer events. We have 25 volunteer events this spring alone at bluewaterbaltimore.org, or follow us on Facebook at Bluewater Baltimore. We have over 6,000 followers. And please get involved, sign up, come out, get your hands dirty, and make Baltimore's environmental health a little better along the way.
One of the things that really captured me is community first. Can you speak to that, why you felt that it was like a paradigm shift for you guys?
Yes, community first is Bluewater Baltimore's way of doing business. And we are at the cutting edge of the environmental field and changing the paradigm by putting communities first always before taking action. We have seen the results, the failed results of the environmental field of
of coming in, making assumptions, and changing things without proper communication and proper community outreach. The community's first model takes time, it takes listening, it takes patience, and it is the only way Bluewater Baltimore, the environmental community, can be successful in Baltimore, because we will be reaching our citizens, reaching our neighborhoods in a way that truly matters to them, and that's what counts.